Hi guys, and welcome to Daliso Sports Show. This is Daliso. It is Champions League week again, and I have done a quick video, a quick preview of Arsenal versus Bayern Munich for Wednesday. But I thought, you know what, let's have a catch up about some of the other good games that are going to be coming. So I'll start with Chelsea Barcelona because that is the one that sort of caught my eye, and I've seen some chat about. Big history with this fixture, isn't it? Let's be honest. So let's have a look at the predicted sort of lineups. These are the lineups that both teams put out over the weekend. I'm sure there'll be some changes in there, but this is sort of like their core team. So look at a Chelsea lineup. They used over the weekend, they used Gusto, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella in defense with Robert Sanchez in goal. And then a midfield of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, who I really like. I like Enzo, honestly, one of my favorite players for Chelsea. I know he gets a bit of criticism, but I guess I look for something different in every team. I don't know. I like him. He's pretty solid, always has a goal. And then in that sort of attacking midfield thingy, they've got Pedro Neto, who had a very, very good game against Burnley, but Burnley are bottom of the league anyway. And then João Pedro, who I'm sort of disappointed with. João Pedro had a good preseason, and that funny World Cup, Club World Cup thing they did, I thought, oh, Chelsea have got a find, but I don't think he's as successful as he was then. So Kaya, I don't know. Alejandro Garnacho as well seems to be doing some bits, but nothing impressive. I haven't had my eye caught, but he is not a slacker. Definitely, he's pushing a lot better than he was doing at Man U. Liam Delap, I watched him against Burnley, and he wasn't very good. He was not very good. That's all I'm gonna say. But he's huge and massive, very big guy. Whereas Barcelona's lineup. So in the previous game, Barcelona, in goal, Szczesny, former Arsenal player, not very good. Jules Koundé, first international, this guy is really good. Araujo, Kubasi, Gerard Martin, Fermin Lopez. I think this Gerard Martin was injured for some time. Fermin Lopez, pretty decent player. Frankie de Jong. Every time I look at this name, I remember a story Onana. That's Andre Onana, not our Onana from Man U, the other one. He always says that one of the players, the most difficult players, the most impressive players he's played against was Frankie de Jong. So I always try to see what he does on the pitch, but I think he's one of those, he does good things, but invisible to the eye. Probably his dad thinks he's amazing, so I don't know. And then the attacking midfield will have Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, very good. Ferran Torres, very good. And Robert Lewandowski, legendary stuff. This guy is pretty decent. Now, in terms of head-to-head for this fixture, I think the last time they played, let me not lie, they played in 2019, which is like 6 years ago. And Chelsea beat Barcelona 2-1 in a friendly. And then, in the final stage, Champions League final stage, it was probably in like a semi-final or something. Barcelona beat Chelsea 3-0 in Barcelona, and then they drew 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. So it is one of those games, whoever is home gets a really comfortable ride. To be fair, Barcelona are always going to be the better team. Stylistically, ability-wise, flair-wise, you're going to go for Barcelona. I reckon Barcelona are going to win. I know it's away from home, and they did struggle a previous game. I watched them away, so they're not as good. But yeah, so it could be a draw or Barcelona. But they've got so much talent. This little boy, Lamine Yamal, I'm obsessed with him. I love seeing, the minute you see this guy, if he can like sort of tone down on the partying, which I think is either in your system or not, he's more of a Neymar than a Messi, isn't he? In terms of partying. I hope he has a longer career than projected because of his playful ways, but that is a great game. I'm going for a Barcelona win in this matchup. After this for Chelsea, it's Arsenal, and they're going to lose there as well, so they need to do as well as they can. So just saying. The other game on Tuesday that I think is really interesting, for us Brits, because we are watching Manchester City and Liverpool. It's going to be Manchester City versus Bayern Leverkusen. Now, let me just have a look if we've got any previous stats. I'm sure if there's some stats, there isn't. No head-to-head. So maybe they've never played each other, but they sort of have the similar records in the last 5 games. So Man City have won the last 4 and lost 1. They lost to, who did they lose to the other day? Newcastle United. Bayer Leverkusen as well have won the last 4. Well, actually, in the last 5 games, they've lost 1. So yeah, similar form in terms of results, but let's have a quick look at how they will possibly line up. So Donnarumma in goal, and did you see Donnarumma, how he saved them from Newcastle? This guy is quality. He is such a wonderful keeper, definitely better than David Raya in my opinion, but David Raya is pretty good. He's learning. He does whatever Arteta wants, but I wish we could have been in a position to get a quality keeper than Donnarumma. Mateus Nunes, Joe Stones, Gvardiol, and Nick O'Reilly back 4. Nick O'Reilly is doing his own thing there, managing, but I don't know who he's covering for. He's a really young guy, now an England international. He held his own when he went to play for England, so it's nothing to be sniffed at. Rangers, Nico Gonzalez in midfield. He's doing a great job for City. Phil Foden as well, running around. He's not brilliant. He's not brilliant. Against Newcastle, he sort of got swallowed up by the physicality of the Newcastle players. But, very threatening. You can't call him lazy. This guy works his socks off. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Savinho, I've seen him a few times now. I don't mind the way Savinho plays. I don't mind watching him play. He does try, but he reminds me a lot of the way Jesus used to perform for Manchester City, where you can tell there's a talent in there, but does it really suit the whole sort of way they're playing? And, it's difficult to shine anyway when you've got Erling Haaland taking over absorbing all the good things, because obviously he is their talisman. So Jeremy Doku, not as good as he was against Liverpool when they played Newcastle, but he's a pretty threatening, exciting player on a good day. This guy is going to run your defense off their feet. Erling Haaland, we know he's going to score something, don't we? We know. This guy is just it. I just have to accept that this guy is insanely awesome. Leverkusen, on the other hand, might line up like this. Flaken in goal. Wow, I recognize most of these names in here. Pelosian, Bade, Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is in this guy from Liverpool. I know this name unless he's related. Okay, so Grimaldo, Garcia, Senga, Hoffman, Tillman, Poku, and Sheck in up front. So yeah, I think I'm going to go for a Manchester City win this time around. I know Manchester City haven't been very consistent, but surely if they lose to Bayer Leverkusen, then they've got bigger problems than even I can imagine. The other team playing, Marseille, Newcastle are traveling to Marseille. They're in this Champions League fixture. For Marseille, let me see the lineups for Marseille. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I knew it. I knew there'll be someone there. I know Mason Greenwood is in there. Mason Greenwood has been lighting up the French league. Oh my gosh. This guy is killing it. Angel Gomez, Emerson is in there. Timothy Ware in there. And then, of course, the Newcastle lineup, we definitely have a good idea. We saw these guys line up against Manchester City, and Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes was on fire. And yeah, I think it might be a draw, but Newcastle or draw. That's just a guess. No good reason whatsoever, just going from my feelings. Other teams playing on the night, we've got Napoli, Qarabag, Slavia, Prague, Club Athletic. And then on Wednesday, the big boys, Real Madrid, will be traveling to Greece. They'll be playing Olympiacos. And do you want to see the possible lineups? Nah, I don't think we do. I mean, we can talk about how they lined up against Elche. It was, honestly, this Alonso is really messing up Real Madrid, Darren, isn't he? You know, I didn't really look in depth at the Elche lineup when they started, but Alexander Trent-Arnold did really well. He was quite threatening. He was everywhere, made some errors, of course, but he hasn't been starting all the time. But honestly, he needs to sort out and decide his starting 11, because before he knows it, it will be January. And there'll be, anyway, the only thing you can guarantee from Real Madrid is Thibaut Courtois is going to start, because he is their best player. He is incredible. Carreras, this guy, sensational ability. Huijsen scored against Elche, very good player. Asensio, I've heard good things about him. Trent-Arnold definitely needs to get in the team more often, hopefully starts. Arda Güler, I don't like him at the moment. I really was excited when he came onto the scene, but I don't think he's being used as effectively. He certainly needs to be playing further up, because he seems to have been put in a position where he's more defensive midfield. He needs to just be let loose. But, they've got way too many similar players, I think, in Real Madrid, and Alonso doesn't know what to do with them. He doesn't, does he? So, Ceballos, love him because he played for Arsenal for a few months. I think we wanted to buy him and Madrid said no, but he's really helping them up in that midfield, because they're really struggling to get a fit midfield. Camavinga, Tchouameni, Valverde, all these players are not fit at the moment, completely fit. Carvajal is out. Rudiger, who they needed to help in that sort of defense, has been out for a long time. Militao is in and out with this groin injury. It's a bit of a mess, let us be honest, for Real Madrid, but the backup they've got is not a balanced backup. So they just throw everyone on and hope for the best. Anyway, Fran Garcia to be taken off as a sub against Elche. Bellingham did very well, scored a goal as well, was threatening. Mbappe as well, assist for Bellingham. He was really good. He's always really good. I like his power. He's very powerful. But yeah, so that is possibly the lineup for Real Madrid. And then, of course, we'll see how they perform away from home to Olympiacos. I'm going for a Real Madrid win. And then Athletic Madrid Inter. Atletico Madrid versus Inter Milan. That should be an interesting match up on Wednesday. Inter Milan, I think, has done really well in the Champions League the last few seasons. They were in the final with PSG and they lost out, really struggled to compete with PSG, but they looked really good. Atletico Madrid, Julian Alvarez up front. This guy is a demon, yeah? He's absolutely fantastic ability he's got. Hopefully, he'll be another addition to our Arsenal squad next season, because we could do with somebody like him. He is really good. Fantastic player. I really like the look of Inter Milan team. Marcus Thuram, Lorato Martinez up front there, looking at them. Akanji has joined them as well from City. Barella. Yeah, very good team, but I am going for Atletico Madrid win. They're home. Alvarez will score. That's my prediction. Liverpool will be taking on Eindhoven. PSV Eindhoven. Liverpool needs a win. I'm going for a Liverpool win in this match. PSG will be playing Tottenham. That's a big game. I wish I could watch that as well. I might just find a second screen somewhere. PSG versus Tottenham Hotspur. I'm going for a Tottenham. I'm going for a PSG win. I am going for a PSG win. Tottenham got hammered by Arsenal. They don't have a clue what they're doing. But in Europe, they haven't been so bad. They've been turning up, so maybe they don't have the same kind of anxiety. Maybe their type of play suits other teams better than the Premier League is a tough cookie to crack. So maybe they'll have a better chance, but I'm going for a PSG win here. Atalanta, Frankfurt, draw. Maybe Atalanta away win. Sporting Club Brugge, Sporting win. in my opinion. And then Monaco should beat Pafos. Copenhagen should beat Almaty, but it's not guaranteed. The biggest game will be Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, where I've gone for an Arsenal win. Look out for my video, the preview for this game. I've done an extended one, which is Arsenal to play Bayern Munich. I reckon Arsenal are going to be Bayern Munich 3-1, because I think we might concede. When you just see Harry Kane on that thingy and the Sunday and the Olises, Michael Olises and all that, you know you're going to be in for a bit of a run around on the night. So awesome midweek Champions League games. But yeah, certainly something to look forward to. So yeah, let me know what you think, you guys. Meet me in the comments. Let's have a look who's going to win. What do you expect? I am expecting an Arsenal win as usual. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.